Welcome. Go ahead and comment below a couple things. It's interesting. I was thinking before, and I was going to do a book giveaway. I was going to give away one of each of these because I have quite a bit of copies. I do this every time I go live and want to share specific things with you because I want to spread the word. Every one of these books I got, these are signed copies by the author, was from a networking connection or from a relationship I built. This is the power of networking. So you're going to get a copy. So all you have to do to be eligible is just please share this post and comment where you're watching from. If you comment and share, I'm going to give away a copy of Unscripted by MJ DeMarco, one of my favorite books of all time. Sell It Like Sirhan, Ryan Sirhan's book, which is also signed, as well as Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness. I'm giving away one copy of each if you guys share this. I'm excited to dive in because I think networking is an undervalued topic. And when I can think back, for me, I used to be the worst networker ever. I didn't even understand what a network was. Growing up in a super small town with 6,500 people, I never even thought about building a network. I just thought who you knew was who you knew. But through my 15-year journey, I started realizing every breakthrough I had, every shift in my results, every big growth that happened in my business was because of a connection. And I'll tell you one thing that really transformed my life and business. The breakthrough I had years ago, I believe it was 2011, where I was banging my head against the wall, trying to figure out the next steps in my business, trying to figure out how to gain clarity, trying to figure out why I was working 80 hours a week and wasn't getting results. And I remember looking at my phone, just almost desperate, and calling someone that I had met at a previous kind of networking event and talking to them. They gave me a piece of advice and they gave me a connection that could help make everything I was doing easier and more streamlined. And the number one stressful thing I had in my mind was now fully delegated and taken care of. And from that moment forward, I realized you don't have to have the answer. Your network does. And when you realize that you are literally right now, you're one network away or one connection away from the biggest breakthroughs and the biggest problems being solved in your business, everything changes and life becomes easier. So nothing's made a bigger impact on my success than networking and building relationships. And I realized the one thing that will change your life is the people you meet and connections you develop along the way. So I'm going to talk about why you should get good at networking, the do's and don'ts of networking, and then the 3 game-changing moves to networking in the new economy. I created this blueprint. It took me a while, but this is the 3 game-changing moves to networking in the new economy. I'm going to kind of walk through this with you because I feel like this is very, very tactical, proven, comprehensive, and relevant. And it's kind of a done-for-you system where it gives you the scripts and everything. I'm just going to walk through this so you guys kind of have the same information as well. What's up? Go ahead and share where you're watching from. Once again, if you share this and you comment below and you like this, I'm giving away 3 books. Sell It Like Sirhan, Lewis Howes, School of Greatness, and MJ DeMarco Unscripted, which is one of my favorite books of all time. So networking, why you should get good. There's a couple reasons, but for me, one of the biggest ones was specialized and proven knowledge. Imagine having the solution to your problems and knowing exactly what the next best move is for your business, right? New opportunities for me have arose consistently because of my network. Imagine having the freedom to pick and choose what opportunities come your way and what opportunities to take on and what to say no to, right? Right now, people are desperately looking for opportunities. When you have the great network and a great Rolodex of people, you have too many opportunities. In a way, you have to start saying no and only pick the great ones because there's so many. That's what happens when you have the right network. Increased influence, increased income, and increased awareness to your brand. Imagine getting paid for your intelligence, not your time. Right? Imagine getting paid for who you know and your connections, not just the time you put in. Imagine learning at twice the speed you're learning now and half the headache and half the time. So for me, it's been cutting my learning curve in half for so long, where I had one of my first mentors share with me, a smart person learns from their mistakes, as all successful people do. but those wanting world-class results, those wanting results like few other people, they learn from other people's mistakes so they can shorten their learning curve and they don't have to waste as much time making the same mistakes. Some of you guys may have seen my one of the previous lives I did where I talked about dropping out of college, and in 2008, 2009, the recession hit. I already was discouraged. I was already failing in my business. I was already ready to throw in the towel, and somebody I had met invited me to a group of entrepreneurs. Now, I didn't know at the time, but it was called a mastermind. And I said I didn't want to go. I just wanted to work. And sometimes you need an outside perspective. You need to work on the business versus in it. But I was so caught up in trying to make ends meet and making sure I was controlling my business versus my business controlling me that I was desperate. And I said, okay, I'm gonna check it out. And I heard something there that changed my life. It was when the economy's down, the money doesn't transfer or disappear. The money transfers to successful people who understand supply and demand and understand how to become more valuable in the market. So for me, when the recession hit, the last one, 08, 09, I thought there was no money. I was going to throw in the towel. One connection and one different perspective gave me massive hope and massive focus. So that's the power of a connection, just cutting your learning curve in half or learning something new. One new perspective today, one new network or one new connection can yield you an extra 5 or 10 grand per month, can yield you an extra 10 hours of freedom, right? So imagine people seeing you as a celebrity in their space. That's growing your awareness. That's establishing your celebrity, which is what networking does, okay? And the biggest mistake I see here is there's an incongruent circle of influence that is not relevant to the goals people set. So a lot of people want level 10 success. They want level 10 income. They want level 10 peace of mind, level 10 results, but they have a level 4 network. And if you want level 10 success and you have a level 4 network, you're always going to be incongruent, and you're going to have that Superman syndrome I had where you feel like you have to do everything yourself and you're banging your head against the wall because you don't have clarity on what to do next, when a network can actually give you the exact answer. I wanted to share just some powerful stories and some things that I've done that have shown me the power of networking, because I just don't think people understand the importance. And a shift's happening right now in our economy where it's shifting from being experience-based and certificate-based to now networking-based. And the reality is, you guys have all heard me say this, but I know 19 and 20-year-olds making millions right now and thriving, and broke 40 and 50-year-olds that say they have 20 years of experience, but they don't, because it's repeated 20 times, right? Networking is the solution. So you could have not much experience. You could not really have an established business yet, but if you have a network and a roadmap, you're going to supersede anyone else that maybe just has experience without a roadmap, because our plans that we had 6 months or a year ago are now irrelevant. And to stay up to date, to stay with what's relevant in business, you need to make sure you're connecting with the right people. So for me, I started in direct sales back in 2007, right? And when I was in direct sales, I was failing until I found a network of great people, and they gave me a proven roadmap that helped me make my first 350K, right? I wanted to write a book in 2014. I didn't know how. I wasn't a writer. I wasn't good at writing in school, but I had a network and it gave me the exact proven roadmap. I wanted to get into real estate and create 6 figures in passive income. I had no idea how to do it, but my network gave me somebody who knew of a company, Smart Passive Income Club, who actually charges $32K a year to join, but I got it free because of my connection. I've invested, I think, in 8 or 9 properties with them in the last 2 years. When I wanted to speak on stage, I had no clue what to do. And literally the wrong network of people told me I have to get 500 free speeches. I'm never going to be able to get paid to speak until I get 500. So you can have the right network and the wrong network. I shifted my circle of influence. I continued asking people, how do I speak on stage? How do I travel the world and get paid to speak? Because one of my network actually got me to speak. You know, what's really funny is Grant Cardone actually got me my first paid gig in Las Vegas for $5,000 back in 2014. I connected with him through a friend, and he was able to give me a speech that he couldn't make, one of my first speeches from my network. And if I had listened to other people, I would have done 500 speeches for free and probably still done free speeches, but I'm able to get paid between 15 and 25K now. When I wanted to create a course around my book, 6 Months to Six Figures, I did not know how, but I used my network and I followed their roadmap and I was able to do that. So that's the importance of building your network. You're only one network away from whatever breakthrough you need in your life and business. Now, I'm going to share the wrong way to network first, but you need to evaluate right now how your network is. How is your circle of influence right now? How are the people around you? How is your Rolodex? Who can you call right now that would answer, that already has the results you want in your life and business? How many people are you connecting with right now that are at the level that you want to be at? If it's not at least 4 or 5, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to take a lot longer than you could, and time is of the essence, right? Time waits for nobody. So you want to make sure you're doing all you can to speed up your learning curve and to speed up the process by elevating your network. Okay, so think about right now, how are the people around you affecting your standards, your thinking, your action? If you have a huge business problem or you want to get into a new industry, do you have someone you can call and ask what to do next? If you hang out with 5 intelligent people, you'll be the 6th. You know that. You hang out with 5 millionaires, you'll eventually be the 6th. It's inevitable. You hang out with 5 confident people, you'll be the 6th. But if you hang out with 5 idiots, you tell me, right? Who do alcoholics hang out with? Other alcoholics. It's just how it goes. So you want to make sure you're just evaluating. I know you may have heard this before, but still people don't understand the power of getting rid of toxic people and making sure they have a core group of people, friends, associates, and a support network that allows them to grow. That's the first part of a network. The second part is your actual mastermind group, who you connect with. Then there's mentors that you need as well. So this is the wrong way to network. And I did this for many years. There's a lot of things that you can do wrong to make it counterproductive when you reach out to people and when you network. And here's some of the most common ones I see. Reaching out with no strategy, just reaching out based off emotion or based off seeing someone on their live or TV. Hey, I need to reach out to this person. Hey, what's up? And there's no strategy. Nothing's thought through. Reaching out just once and never following up, or only reaching out on one platform. Only reaching out on one platform. I'd love to hear too from you if you've done these, some of these errors and what happened, right? Because I've done these many times. I learned from being a horrible networker how to be a great networker, right? Only reaching out on one platform only gives you one chance. Not having a proven approach that's been tested and asking for the wrong things. Now, the first thing you have to understand is the people you're reaching out to most likely are successful. What does successful people value the most in all of their life? Comment below what you think. What do successful people value the most? I'm just curious. Let's see if you can get this. What do successful people value the most in life? There's a little bit of a delay. Go ahead and comment below. Oh, I forgot. Hold on one second. They value more than anything else time. I think some of you guys got that, right? They value time. Now, the reality is, what's the first thing most people ask them for? Their time, right? And that's the one thing they don't want to give you because that's what they value. So you're asking for the wrong thing. You don't want to ask them to do anything at first, okay? You want to take an approach of how can I serve or add value? So I'm going to give you 3 game-changing moves. That's it. And then we'll let you go. And I was planning on, so what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to give you this blueprint, this 13-page blueprint of how to actually follow up strategically and consistently, there's three types of people you should be following up with: suspects, prospects, and customers, right? I'm going to give you this at the end. So I'm excited about that. I'd love to get your feedback on it as well, because I think it's one of the most powerful blueprints we've ever created. But first step is be intentional. Okay. Create your list, write down names of the 10 individuals that you want to connect with and the reasons why you'd like to connect with them. Consider their strengths, what they specialize in, and the purpose they serve. Okay. Now, there's categories that I typically create when I'm creating my lists. You have to have categories. There's too much random acts of action going on and not enough strategy. If you want to get to the 7 and 8 figure level, you have to have a proven strategy or a playbook. I want this to be your playbook. Okay. Networking also, I'm looking at the Entrepreneur Magazine. Networking also got me connected to Entrepreneur Magazine and got me featured in the actual magazine. This was from a single network. So there's endless possibilities when you do this the right way. And I'm trying to give you exactly how to do it. So there's categories. Maybe you're looking for paid mentorship. Maybe it's quick advice or guidance. Maybe it's a book endorsement or a testimonial, a financial investment into your startup. Maybe you're asking them to speak at your event or your summit or your academy. Maybe you want to introduce them to another person you feel they could do business with that's congruent with their business. Maybe you want to share an opportunity. Maybe you want to express gratitude. Maybe you want to cross promotion. Maybe you want a potential partnership with them. I don't know. But you have to know exactly why you're reaching out. 10 people, why you're reaching out. Okay. And then find similarities. Are these people aligned with your vision? Okay. Use kind of we use a cross-referencing approach by jotting down similarities you have. So a few examples might be same industry, similar mission, similar lifestyle, same political, religious views. I don't know. But you have to make sure you figure out the ideal people you want to connect with, and then figure out the similarities, and then define the end goal. Okay. What's the outcome for reaching out to these people? Even if it seems maybe a little unrealistic at first, make a note of it. And maybe it's to introduce you to their circle of, maybe they introduce you to their circle of influence. Maybe they teach you how to scale their business. Maybe they help you get a speaking engagement. They're a guest on your podcast. They collaborate with you on a project. I don't know what it is, but you want to make sure that you know exactly why you're reaching out. And this is called the strategic value add. When you're reaching out, you want to make sure you're doing everything you can to add value. Now, the most common mistake I see, or the most common myth, is I don't have value to add. Okay, I don't have value. Well, here's some ideas on how you can add value or create a relationship with them, even if you don't have experience. You can share your contacts with them. You can offer a specific expertise or knowledge that you have. Maybe it's in health, maybe it's in accounting, maybe it's marketing, right? You can provide them with a new or bigger audience reach, and you can even pay for audience. Say, hey, if I interview you, I will guarantee you 100,000 views on our interview. And you can just pay for the views through Facebook marketing, or through YouTube, through Instagram, whatever it is. Maybe you are writing a testimonial or review for them. The best thing you can do in reaching out is show you've already taken action first. This will show you're different, because they're getting so many people reaching out to them. If you take a different approach, it'll be more valuable to them, and you're going to show them that you're serious. So for me, whenever I reach out, I always have already reviewed their books. I've already shared their content. I've already tagged them. They already know that I am an action taker, right? So writing a testimonial, buying 5 of their books and saying you gave it to the most influential people you know. Maybe you're offering capital or an investment for their time. Maybe you're bartering services. Maybe you're creating a partnership. So for example, if you know someone that has a course that can benefit their audience, but they don't have a course like that, you can connect these two and get a referral fee, right? There's tons of ways to do it. The goal here is just figuring out how you're going to add value. Maybe it's just reducing some of their suffering. If you can reduce their suffering or reduce their headache and add some peace of mind to them by any means necessary, they're going to give you some time, right? That's a huge, huge key. So for me, I'm extremely intentional. Okay. I create my list first. Here's different categories. I define the end goal, right? Of exactly what I want. And this is a place for you to make your actual list as well. Then I figure out how I'm going to add value. There's all these ideas on how you can add value. What's your actual approach going to be? Then I did something that I'm not sure if I should have done, but I gave you the exact script that I used. Dear Achiever, I respect your time at the highest level. I won't ask for any of it. And this is different subject lines and all these things. So I gave you my actual script. And then there's the follow-up, strategically and consistently, how to follow up, the emails to follow up, following through and following back. So I want to give you this. Instead of just continuing to talk about it, I'm going to give you this, okay? Put the link below. It's gamechangersmovement.com/networking, I believe. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Gamechangersmovement.com/networking. Want to make sure. Can someone check that? I think Horace is on. Yeah, I think that's right. So below, I'm putting the link, gamechangersmovement.com/networking. That's what I want to give to you guys today as a thank you for being a loyal follower, an entrepreneur, someone dedicated to greatness in all they do. Remember, your networking is more important than your experience or age, and learning this will make a huge difference in your business moving forward. Those who build the right network and build the right partnerships will dominate the next couple of years. So this blueprint's usually $297. I've done everything wrong in the book. I've wasted a ton of time, made a lot of mistakes. I've gotten no responses, but finally, after years and years of trial and error, I feel like I have figured it out, and I want to share my approach with you. I shared it with my inner circle. I gave them the script. It worked. They got a hold of pretty much anyone they wanted to. I then tweaked it, continued to make it better, and now I want to give this blueprint to you. So no strings attached. I've decided to just focus all my time and energy right now in this crazy time on just giving back and giving value. So I want to be the one that helps you with your network. Let's do a couple minutes of Q&A. If you have any questions, post them below, but I'm letting you know that who you surround yourself with is who you become, and your circle of influence will either make or break you. So it's just very important to understand the power of not just your support system, not just who you're around, but who you respect, who you look up to, and who you can actually talk to if you have any questions regarding your biggest business problems. Because you got to have your peers and your support, family, friends, day-to-day people to bounce ideas off. But you also have to have mentors to learn from that can consistently cut your learning curve in half. Every breakthrough I've ever had has been from two things: a network and then a proven roadmap from the network. Think about it. No experience, stressed, discouraged, frustrated, not sure what to do next. You have the right people in your circle. They give you the roadmap to follow. You follow it. Clarity is the ultimate power. And if you simplify and get rid of all the noise out there, it's easier to execute. And that's what a network does for you. So hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions below. We'll do some Q&A, and then I'll let you guys go on with your day. I think there's like a 30-second delay. When are you coming to Dallas? I'm not sure. I think we're going to Utah next, Tulum, Mexico, which is amazing. If you've ever been there, you know. If you haven't, I would recommend it. And then we might go to Alaska or possibly Idaho. But Dallas, I'm not sure. I have some friends in Lubbock and some friends in Austin as well. So maybe we'll take a ride. Thank you. Say, good to see you. John, good question. How do you filter bad advice from good advice? I mean, one of the best pieces of advice I got that I realized was good was take few opinions. And I test most advice, but the first thing I do is this person living the life I desire? Do they have similar values? And are they someone that's practicing what they preach? You don't want to take advice from someone you wouldn't trade places with. So how you know if it's good or bad is this person truly living an amazing life? And do they have the lifestyle you want? So here's, for example, for me, I'm very selective with who I follow because I know who I am. I know where I'm going and what I want and what kind of business, lifestyle, and legacy I want. So here's a simple example. I value freedom. I value family above anything else. My wife, my son, I like to spend time with them. Now I work very hard. I love working, but I work because I love it and I want to, not because I have to. There's a lot of people in this industry that all they promote is hustle, grind, hustle, hustle, grind, hustle. And they're 40, 50, some of them are 65 years old, and they're never with their kids. They're never showing any of their family life. You don't know what their wife looks like. They're hustling 24/7, 7 days a week, promoting hustle grind. That's great, but I'm not going to follow them because I don't respect that lifestyle. When I'm 45, 50, 60 years old, I want to coach my kids' soccer game or basketball team, right? So I'm not going to take advice from someone that works 100 hours a week that never hangs out with their kids. Now, they're not a bad person at all. That's just not the lifestyle I want. So if they give me advice, good or bad, I'll filter it by saying, does this person have the lifestyle I want? Is the advice relevant to business? Do I respect his business? Oh, I do respect his business in terms of social media strategy, and he's crushing it. Okay, let me test the advice. Once I test it, see if it works. But the first filter system is just, are they living the lifestyle they want? Similar values, right? And then making sure, are they an expert in that area? And that's really it. It starts with having a smaller circle, and it starts with having criteria for who you follow online and who you get advice from. Because free advice sometimes is very expensive, right? It's not free. I know I'm giving you free advice now, but we really pride ourselves in our company, and my team pride ourselves in trying to give better free content than a lot of people charge thousands for. And we've always tried to give better free content. I feel like, I'll be honest, a part of me is like, I cannot believe I'm giving this for free, right? It took me 10 years to figure this out, but it's just value add. If you get value and get results, then you're going to come back and say, hey, Peter, I love what you do. And you'll continue following me, right? So good question. Thatch, me and Thatch need to connect. Speaking of connections, I haven't talked to him for a while. Tell Thatch to hit me up, John. Great guy. One of the real estate tycoons in the Seattle area. How do I find quality influencers to interview for my spiritual entrepreneur podcast? Just people you respect, people that are doing things that are similar to you, people that you relate to, and people that can bring a different perspective to your audience. It's funny, in this blueprint, it gives you tips on how to pick your top 10. Where's it at? Right here. So the 10-10-10 exercise. What are your top 10 podcasts you'd like to be featured on, and the top 10 guests you'd want on your podcast? What 10 publications would you like to be featured on? Who are 10 experts in your field you'd like to interview or connect with? So this actually gives you some of the frameworks to follow on how to get those guests. But just, you got to do research. Look at people who have similar perspectives and values that you do for your podcast, and you reach out, and don't make it about just the podcast, because people are thinking in their head. Everyone's favorite radio station, guys, is WIFM. What's in it for me? So if you're like, my podcast, I want to do this, I need you to speak, like, they don't care. Don't make it about them. So you got to create win-win-win scenarios. A win for them, their audience, a win for them, and then the win for you, they don't care about, sadly. So make it a win for their audience and a win for them. Make it a win-win situation when you propose something to them, and then you'll be able to get guests. And if you have a guest that has a similar mission to you, then you can also let them know that your mission is similar, and you just want to introduce your audience to them so they have a bigger reach. If they're all men, no problem. You'll meet some girls. Our Game Changer Inner Circle only opens up once, sometimes twice a year. And we have a pretty strict criteria because of everything that it entails. You can reach out. The starting point of the Inner Circle is you have to be on the Game Changers Academy. If you want to learn more, it's an invite-only community. You have to apply. Everything we do, we really protect with everything we got because of our reputation being flawless. So you guys can check out the Game Changers Academy. It's one of the top networking communities. If you kind of want to build a network overnight, I'm not here to promote that, but it's gamechangersmovement.com as well. The blueprint, you have a deeper dive one in the academy. So there's a longer one that goes with the modules as well in the academy. So this is a great, but it's a lot more deep dive if you're actually in the academy. Good question. Cool. Appreciate you guys. Just please understand the importance of networking and of building and crafting a circle of influence that is congruent with where you want to go in the future. And you have to always focus on adding value and focus on becoming the best possible entrepreneur you can, so you can continue to add value. But you want people that are givers, okay, not takers. People that are always giving and giving. And when you have a criteria for what you take on and who you allow in your circle, it becomes a lot easier to filter the takers and filter the people that maybe don't have your best interests in mind. But just having this at the forefront of your mind and having awareness that your circle of influence makes or breaks you is a great starting point to start building it. And this will kind of give you the framework as well. So make sure you reach out with a strategy. Make sure you follow up. Make sure you reach out on multiple platforms. Make sure you use this approach I gave you, and don't ask for the wrong things. Don't ask for them to do something. Don't ask for their time. Show them you're serious through a unique approach mixed with some action you've taken. Okay, Lamadix, good to see you, my man. Julie, I'll promote it for you. Thank you. Yeah, Julie's been on the academy for a while, just crushing it. She had to pivot her business, and now she's doing a lot of amazing stuff online. Check her out as well. I appreciate you guys. If you want the blueprint, gamechangersmovement.com/blueprint. Also, I'm giving away these books. If you just tuned in or if you're watching the replay, you just got to comment where you're watching from and share this. And I'm going to give away Lewis Howe's book, signed, Ryan Serhant, Sell Like Serhant, MJ DeMarco's Unscripted, signed. 3 great books. Appreciate you guys. Let me see if there's any other questions. Thank you for promoting it, Julie. Much respect. And have a great rest of your day, guys. In these crazy times, it's very important to move with certainty, to get around people who are pivoting, who are confident in their abilities, who are focusing on opportunities, focusing on not just taking advantage of what's going on, but focus on capitalizing and looking for opportunities in places that most people have fear. There's maximum profit and maximum pessimism, right? And when the economy's down, like I learned at an early age, the money doesn't disappear. So right now there's a huge wealth transfer. The money's not disappearing. It's just going to the people who understand supply and demand, understand how to add more value. Whatever you're doing in these next couple months will be magnified 10 times in the next 6 months to a year. So if you're working on yourself, if you're betting on yourself, if you're studying, if you're sharpening your skills, if you're learning, if you're joining masterminds, if you're growing, it's going to pay off 10 times more than it would if the economy was normal. Now, if you're cutting corners, if you're around cynical, negative people, remember, life is way too short to be around toxic people that don't make you feel exceptional. It's such a relief when you get rid of toxic people who play victim, who are always in fear. And fearful people love shedding fear on others because it makes them feel better about living in fear. So you have to make sure now you're moving with confidence and certainty. And if you are cutting corners, it's going to be very rough for you the next 6 months to a year. So that's why it's important right now to have a militant routine, right? Invest in yourself, get around high level people, and you will succeed. If you develop yourself when times are tough right now, you'll be able to dominate the rest of your life. So much respect. Post below if you have any questions that I haven't answered. Also, I'm pretty active on Instagram. If anyone on here, I like to kind of have people connect with each other. If you're active on Instagram, if you're whatever platform you're most active, comment below and let's follow each other and engage. So if you're on Instagram, mine's Peter J. Voogd. If you're on Instagram, comment below. Make sure you take advantage of this blueprint. The team said it won't be online for long. And have an amazing rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.